Political flows. While the focus of the chapter will be in developing the nature of a wide range in political structure relevant to globalization, there are certainly a number of separable political flows of various sorts that are relevant to an understanding of contemporary globalization. In fact, it could be argued that virtually of all flows discussed throughout this book are political and relevant civilization structure of all sorts. Some of course are of a more direct political relevance than others. Yung political flows o mga pulong ng mga politika, sila po yung mga kabanata na pagiging pag-unlad ng mga likas na katangian ng isang malawak na hanay ng mga istrukturang pampolitika na nag-uugnay sa globalization. The global flows of people, especially refugees and undocumented immigrants, poses a direct threat to the nation-state's ability to control the borders. The looming crisis associated with the dwindling oil and water supplies, Chapter 9, threatened to lead to riots and purpose insurrections with a cold lead to the downfall on 16 governments. Ito po yung nag-aabang ng mga krisis ng pag-uurong o pagpipigil ng mga supply ng tubig at langis. Inability of nation-states to control economic flows dominated by multinational cooperation or MNCs, as well as the integration and interconnectedness of the global economy, Chapter 4, can be also pose the profound threat in Western Europe. Ito po yung mga kalawakan na kakayahan ng pambansang estado na kontrolin ng mga daloy ng mga ekonomiya na pinangungunahan ng multinational na operation. Pati na rin yung mga pagsasama na pag-uugnay ng pandigdigang ekonomiya ay maaari ding maidulot na malalim na sa banta. Global climate change and other environment problems, Chapter 9, are very likely to be destabilizing politically. Ito po yung pangdaigdigang pagbabago ng klima at iba pang mga suliraning pangkapaligiran ay malamang na magiging disabilidad ng politika. Borderless diseases, Chapter 10, especially to malaria, Zika, and AIDS in Africa, poses a danger to political structure. Ito po yung may mga sakit ng walang hangganan. War and terrorism, Chapter 10, is the most obviously global flows threatening in nation-states involved, especially those on the losing sides. Global inequalities, Chapter 11 and 12, especially the profound North-South split, threaten to pit for nations against the rich nations. Thus, a significant portion of this book deals in political process or with many processes that are directly or indirectly related to the politics. In addition, there is discussion, especially in Chapter 13, of various efforts to deal with a global problems, many of which, etc., trades to protection and liberalization, efforts and increased political transparency and social justice are political in nature. Family, political structure, national states, and national United Nations. Imitate a wide range of political flows. The war in Syria, which has led to the mass immigration of millions of people. The national states. The series of treaties known as the Peace of Westphalia, 1648, ended the 30 and 80 years war in Europe and instituted an international system that recognized sovereign states at its core. Thus it was not sovereign states that were new absolutist states, for example, had a long existence, but rather but recognized accorded them the Westphalia. The treaties were widely interpreted, thus giving stated rights and political self-intervention to the being considered equal from the legal points of view, and as prohibiting them from the intervening in the affair of the states. Sovereign states. Ang nation states o pambansang estado ay isang serye ng mga kasunduan na nakilala ng bilang of Westphalia ay nagdadaos ng digmaang 30 at 80 na taon sa Europa at nagtatayag ng isang sistemang pang-international na nakilala ng mga soberanya ng estado sa core nito. Kaya hindi mga estado ang soberanya na bago. Halimbawa, mga absolutist na estado matagal nang umiiral, ngunit salip ay mga napagkilala na iginawad sa kanila ng sa Westphalia. The two basic component. Nation as social group linked throughout common descent, culture, language, and territorial contiguity. Isang malaking kalipunan ng mga tao na pinag-isa ayon sa isang pinagmulan, kasaysayan, kultura o wika na naninirahan sa isang tao, particular sa bansa o teritoryo. National identity, the fluid and dynamic form of collective identity. Members of a community believe that they are different from other group. Ang national identity or pambansang pagkakakilanlan ay isang pakiramdam na kabila ng pagkakolekta ng isang estado sa bansa. Nationalism, a doctrine and or political movements that seeks to make the nation the basics of a political structure, especially of a states. Ang nationalism or nationalismo ay isang sistema ng paniniwala ng ito lihiyang politika na pagiging makabansa ng katapatan at interes ng bansa. States are organizational structure outside other socio-economic hierarchies with a relatively autonomous office holder. Sovereignty, the political authority to govern of self-govern a people. National states, the integration of subgroups that define themselves as the nation with the organizational structure of the states. Sovereignty or soberanya, na may kahulugang kataas-taasang kapangyarihan o dakilang kapangyarihan at paghahari ng isang kapangyarihan ng estado at magtupad ng batas sa kanilang nasasakupan. Ang national states ay nangungulugan at tumutukoy sa isang uri ng estado na sumasali sa intibidad ng politika ng estado na itinidad na kultura ng isang bansa. Traits to the nation states. As a result of heritage of Westphalia, we came to think a national state as an autonomous, rather self-contained entity, but in fact many of the global flows that slide through the state, see later, and throughout this book, indicate that nation-state is not, and undoubtedly never has been, such as container. As a result, one observer includes in this author all agree that this state is today highly contingently and in flux.